Today's podcast is sponsored by King's Cleaning Solutions. King's offers carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, upholstery cleaning, natural stone maintenance, area rug cleaning, and hardwood floor cleaning in Kokomo and its surrounding areas. Contact them today for all of your cleaning needs.
Welcome back to another episode of The Lamp, brought to you by the Kokomo Lantern. I am Kokomo Lantern publisher Pat Muncie, and with me today I have the owner and president of King's Cleaning Solutions, Jonathon King. Jonathon, thanks for joining us on the show this morning, or today, or this evening, whenever you're watching this, because, you know, it's the internet. You can watch it anytime you like. Hopefully you enjoy it when you watch it, in spite of me. So I've got Jonathon here today because Jonathon recently received a pretty cool honor through the Kokomo Chamber of Commerce. King's Cleaning Solution was named Business of the Month for April.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Month of April. Yep.
And so tell me a little bit about what that means for you.
Well, apparently there's a secret society that meets and nominates small businesses that are part of the chamber. You have had to been a member for at least 2 years and be a legitimate business. So you have to have like your tax ID number and all that kind of jazz, which is sad because normal businesses should have that kind of stuff.
Well, you would think so, yes.
We even have to advertise we have insurance. You would think that would be something that would not have to be advertised. That should just be a standard.
I like the secret society aspect of it. Do they get like robes and hoods and like candles and like a little chant with it too?
I think they have badges and name placards on the badges. That's the only thing I've
see, that's a life goal now. I got to have one of those. But congratulations on being named Business of the Month. What kind of perquisites come with that?
Well, I get to be presented with an award by Mike Kerkhoff, I think. That's what I've heard through the grapevine. I'm not for sure exactly how this goes down. We're going to find out tomorrow at 4 o'clock here at Adventurec, just below us at the Shared Drive.
Which will actually be today at 4 because even though we're shooting this early, it's going to show up on the day that he gets the award. I do that all the time. I live in a constant time warp when I'm doing these kind of things.
I totally forgot. Yeah.
It's quite all right.
Yeah,
but hey, Mike Kerkhoff's a pretty cool guy, and he's given the award. That's cool. And so this is going to take place at Adventurec.
At Adventurec, yep.
At 4 o'clock. There'll be a little reception.
Yep. Hacienda is supposed to be giving away chips and salsa for everybody that comes.
Hey, that's an incentive. And this is not just for chamber members. You can have friends and family show up for this too, right? Yeah, so.
I think they probably want you to register for the event, but you can just show up. Just tell them I sent you.
There you go. Hey, I like the way we do things around here.
Yeah, the person
this guy gets things done.
They get to do whatever they want to. Makes
all
it
right.
nice.
So, but you had to have earned this award somehow, so it has to be through the way that you conduct your business. Let's tell people a little bit about what King's Cleaning Solutions does.
Well, we clean carpet, tile, upholstery, air ducts, dryer vents, and hardwood floors.
That's a pretty wide range.
Yeah, pretty much anything you can sit on or stand on, we clean it, plus the ventilation systems.
Gotcha. Yep. The ventilation systems has always interested me because you never think about cleaning those out. Mm-hmm. How often should someone clean out their air ventilation system?
You know what gets me is all the scams that are going on everywhere. Like you see them on Facebook.
Absolutely,
all the time.
Do. That's why I'm asking, because they all act like I'm about to burn my house down.
No, it makes me so angry. There's only 5 times you should probably get your air ducts cleaned. One is if you're highly allergic to anything as a hypoallergenic individual. Okay. You want to get all the stuff cleaned out probably every 5 years. That's a very, very small percentage of the population.
Okay.
Next would be mold remediation. If you have mold in your ductwork, that's got to get cleaned out. Some types of mold, you have to replace all the ductwork. You can't clean it out. If you have a fire, because you got to get all the soot and smelly stuff out of the ductwork. If you have a big remodel and the remodeling crew uses the air systems as a trash can, because that happens pretty frequently.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
It just depends on what kind of crews that you get in there. Semi-professional, probably not so much, but professional crews, they clean up after themselves.
Okay, all right. Was that 4 or was that 5?
5th one, pet dander. If you have a lot of pets, if your house is a zoo, probably get your air ducts cleaned.
Gotcha. So 1 I'm probably okay with.
Yeah.
3 or 4 I'm probably pushing the edge, and cat lady down the street probably should every other week or so.
But about a general rule of thumb is about every 10 years for everyone. or when you do a big remodel, which is probably about every 10 or 15 years.
All right. And so how do we clean an air ventilation system?
There's several different ways. We use the negative air method the most of the time. So what that means is we have a gigantic vacuum that kind of looks like a minion, like the Despicable Me Minions if this thing was yellow, but it's a big white bag, so it's not a minion.
Oh.
But
well, you could paint it.
Yeah, exactly. I've been told to paint it several times by several people. So that gets hooked up to a 10-inch vacuum hose that we run into your house to the furnace duct system, wherever the cold air return or where the filter is on the system. It's got a bunch of different places that it can hook up to. But the main thing we have to do is get negative pressure on the system, because then we run about 120 psi air whip line down each individual register cover all the way back to the furnace. And the air whipping motion is like this, and it just beats the heck out of the inside of the ductwork, but not enough to destroy the ductwork, just enough to dislodge the dirt.
Gotcha.
And with that positive air pressure from the line and the negative air pressure from the vacuum, it all just gets sucked outside.
Huh. And doesn't take very long, does it?
Probably a couple hours.
Wow. So I could leave in the morning and say, hey, just hook up, and by dinner time, I've got a nice clean ductwork. Yeah. Okay. But I'm guessing that's not your specialty, though.
No. The biggest thing we do is clean carpets.
Ah, yes.
That's why I've cleaned carpets for almost straight out of high school. I worked for a fire and water restoration company out of Connorsville, because that's where I'm originally from. I'm a Kokomo transplant. So that's why I was very honored to receive this award, because I'm not a Coco local person. Like
Coco local, I like that. Coco local. Hey, that's cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I was, because this is a fantastic community to live in, but I'm not. But I'm glad that I'm honored with this award, because I think we have like 600 members in our chamber, and only 12 of us are going to get this award this year, and one of the 12 are going to be the winner of the Small Business of the Year.
Oh.
So there's a lot of high stakes going around.
I guess so. My gosh, cutthroat. Going to have a little political backstabbing going on, a little scandal or two. I can't wait for that. You'll get to read about that in the Lantern for sure.
Exactly.
Unless it's King's, and I don't know. Because disclaimer time, King's is an advertiser at the Kokomo Lantern. I'll let you know right up front that I'm not trying to pull one over on you. We like King's, and so hey, he's on here talking to you about his product. And if you're looking for cleaning solutions, I think he's probably got something right up your alley. Yep. So when it comes to carpets, you're cleaning everything from a tight nap to a deep shag, I'm guessing.
Yep, anything that you can have. I was actually trained in carpet dyeing from the person that cleans for the White House, so that's pretty nice. Wow. There's only like 5 degrees of separation from whoever you want.
Sure.
I can probably get you in contact with the person who cleans the carpet there.
Nice.
Couldn't say the president, but I could probably get really dang close to the president.
Hey, I can't do that. Well, not now. I could with the last one, because I was 1 degree on Pence, but I don't think either one of us were proud of that. But that's neither here nor there. That's a different story for a different time. So, but after this accolade, you've got more things going on this spring. You're going to be present at the Z93 Home Show, is that right?
Yep, 92.5 Home and Lifestyle Show.
If I say 93, that tells you how old I am and how long I've been around here, because for years, when I grew up, it was Z93.
Oh, wow.
Even though they've always been, I think they were 92.7 back then. They moved to 92.5. Sorry about messing up all your branding from 30 years ago. That's how long it's probably been. So the 92.5 Home Show you're going to be at.
Yep. It's also presented by the Backyard Gardeners, which I may become one after I retire.
Really?
I love gardening and stuff. I just don't have enough time. We clean carpets all day, every day, probably 12 hours a day. So I'm still going to clean carpets after I get done shooting here. So.
Wow. So it sounds like it's kind of hard to get on your list.
Yeah, we're booked out at least 2 weeks most of the time.
Okay.
Farther into the summer, it could shoot to a month, but I really try to get within 2 weeks. Because if you go farther than 2 weeks, you're probably going to find somebody else. Let's be honest.
Sure, but hey, I guess that's a good problem to have,
It is nice.
You're growing well. And no wonder you got business of the month with that kind of volume. But people will be able to see you at the home show. What kind of things are you going to do there?
Well, we usually have this little poop race car. So
wait, hold on, what?
We have this little remote control turd, and I think it's called the poop machine or something. I got it at Five Below years ago, and I love having it at the home show because it'll be just like buzzing around, and I'll run it under somebody's foot, and then they'll like scream. I also do a bunch of bubbles. Like, I have fun at the home show.
I Sounds like it's a one-sided thing.
Other people may not have so much fun, but we try to do everything safely, but I make sure I have fun. If I'm going to have to be there for like 10 hours a day, I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's like a poop bar instead of a Roomba.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, we have little poop erasers, and I mean, because I've done
What is your obsession with poop, sir?
Because that's what we clean up. I may not be a septic pumper, but I deal with the nasty stuff.
Yeah, so how do you get peanut butter out of a shag carpet anyway?
A lot of water.
Okay.
Yeah. It's considered a protein. So we have a protein spotter, so that would be for peanut butter, poop, any kind of food. It doesn't matter what it is. Then we have a urine spotter for urines and stuff like that.
And I think this cleans clear down into the pads and things like that.
We try not to get into the pad unless we're doing urine subsurface extraction. So like if you clean down into the pad, it takes too long for it to dry. Once we come in there and clean carpets, they're usually dry within 6 to 8 hours. Oh. So that way you can walk on it when you get home at night, or the next morning. It should be totally safe. We leave booties most of the time for people so they don't get their shoes all wet or socks wet.
Or track in the outside on a nice clean carpet that you just spent all that time working on, right?
Yep. Yeah. I had a radio guy talk to me 6 months ago, and he said one of the biggest sales pitches that he was ever told by somebody else was, if you had white carpet, how frequently would you clean it? And then I was like, well, that does make a lot of sense, because you see a lot of stuff in white carpet. But the kicker is, the dirt is there whether the carpet is white or black.
Right. My carpet is gray. I'm pretty sure it was white, but my carpet is gray.
Yeah. Most people have a beige type of carpet. That's the way to go most of the time. Now everybody's switching into a grayish phase, so makes it kind of nice.
Yeah, it came with the house.
Yeah, that's one way to do it too.
Yeah. I'm sure if I lifted up the furniture, it's white carpet. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably in need of your services. We'll have to talk after this filming. I've got cats, I've got ducks to clean, I've got a really dirty carpet, So I will practice what I preach, I think. So the home show takes place when, where, and how long?
Okay, let me look up some details here, because we don't have a teleprompter.
You're right.
And we're close to a teleprompter, but not yet.
And I know nothing about their plans, so I've not checked in with April to get all that.
Yeah, so it's going to be April the 27th and 28th.
So coming up right around the corner.
Yep. The 27th, it's going to run from 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. And the 28th is running from 11 in the morning to 2 p.m.
And where is it taking place?
At the Greentown Fairgrounds in the Big Cattle Barn.
That's right. It's funny, we were just having a debate, me and a couple of coworkers, about that barn, because we're getting ready to hold an event this summer there. And
it's called a Mighty Noise?
It is called a Mighty Noise, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so look, he's going to do a little plugging for me. Yeah. Anyway, you've heard about the Mighty Noise, and if you haven't, believe me, you're gonna. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to bring in some horses and found out that that's all concrete floor. Yeah. There and that. So horses don't do great on concrete floor, so we got to find something else. But it works out perfect for you and your business at a home show.
Yep.
Is this the first time you've been at this home show out there?
No, we were there last year. A lot of people there. I mean, there was a lot of presenters and stuff, but it was interesting.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the rains came, and when the rains come, nobody comes.
Right.
That's the downfall to events like that.
But there were a lot of good businesses out there. I learned a lot of things.
90-some businesses last year. I think they told me this year there's between 70 and 90. I don't know exactly what the number is.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching this and you remember the home shows of old, the pre-pandemic home shows, we'll say, I can go clear back into the late 80s with them, when it used to be a Memorial Gymnasium, and then it was the high school. And it's been a little bit of everywhere. But it's a good layout in Greentown.
There's lots of parking there. That's really
a lot of parking. Yep.
And it's a massive building. Like, when I first started my business in 2016, the very first event I did was the home show, like that spring of 2017. Because I was legitimate in 2016, but nobody knew about me. Barely anybody knows about me still, but we're getting some traction now.
Yeah.
But 2017, I put full bore into the home show, and then I joined BNI as a networking group, joined the Chamber of Commerce. If it wasn't for all of the people in this town, I would not be here.
That is the incredible thing about Kokomo and Howard County is they're more than willing to support you. You know, if you are honest and you're forthright and you put out a good product, they line up for you. And that's one of the best things about this community.
Yeah, it's fantastic. because you wouldn't think somebody from out of town who's like not had any connections here, but I do have a couple of secret connections that nobody knows about yet until I'm going to disclose them here in the podcast.
Okay.
Just a little bit. But to come from where I came from, well, like when I first started driving, I drove up to a Steak and Shake and ordered something, and I had to pull away because I was too introverted to talk to them in the drive-through. So to be too scared to talk to somebody through a drive-through, like that's a big difference from then to now. So I'm happy with all the people that I've met and the people I continue to meet every single day. All the trainings I've been to. Patty Pavey is one of the sponsors for this Chamber of Commerce, the Business of the Month, and so is Budget Blinds. Patty Pavey's business is Today's the Day Coaching.
Okay.
Went to several of her events. She's a fantastic person. Let's see. If it was not for the person who invited me to BNI, Grace Jones.
Okay.
I know you have to know who Grace is.
I've heard her name, but she and I are not well acquainted.
Yeah, I don't think she lives in Kokomo anymore because she owned a popcorn cafe for years.
Yep.
Like she started it and then she sold it to the current owners.
Yep.
But if it wasn't for Grace, I probably would not be here. And that's like Grace the name and Grace from Jesus. Like for both of them, you'd have to have both to get to where I am right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I interviewed her once when she first opened downtown. So I know of her, I know of her business, but it's great that she helped bring you here. Mm-hmm. And apparently it stuck. So that's one of your secret connections to Kokomo?
Yeah, well, that's not really secret.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's a thing that happened in the 60s, the Palm Sunday tornadoes. Do you know when that happened?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
we just went through the Palm Sunday anniversary from 65, yeah.
Yep. So my Uncle Tom and Uncle Brad, my dad's brothers, who are like 20 years older than him, so that's like they're up in their 80s now, maybe even early 90s. They actually ran power back into Kokomo through the transmission lines after those tornadoes took them out.
Oh.
They were here like pretty quickly, and they were here for 6 months putting all those electric lines in.
Wow. So your family is partly responsible for our recovery from one of the worst disasters in the city's history. That's a pretty cool little badge to wear around, yeah.
Makes it kind of nice. Also, my dad's name is Jerry King. I get asked this all the time. Jerry King also owns King's Heating and Cooling. Mm-hmm. Not the same Jerry
Different
King.
Jerry King. Not that either Jerry King's a bad guy. Just different people. Okay.
No, but we get called all the time for different things, especially since like our air duct cleaning services overlap sometimes.
Yeah. So basically, you've got professional ties here that long precede you.
Oh yeah, by decades.
So
Could a person say millennia? Possibly.
there you go. Pretty pleased with your decision in Kokomo after all.
Oh
this?
yeah, I love this town. I love all the nonprofits we support. So like Urban Outreach, Samaritan Caregivers, AMI's Breast and Show. If I had a list in front of me, it'd probably work pretty good. But
sure, they know who they are, and eventually you'll know who they are too, because you'll see the King's name out there at those events. So, and you'll need to look for his logo and know who you're dealing with, and just walk up and make him say hi to you, because apparently that is a thing for him. And if he wants to say hi to you, you'll probably see his poopmobile before you see him.
Yeah, exactly. I also got married in 2021.
Oh.
I'm going to assume it's 21. I wanted to be 2020, but COVID hit. So
yeah.
My wife's name's Maggie King. She works for electric company over there in Marion, but she's made me way more extroverted because she's a hardcore extrovert.
Oh, well, the opposites do attract. Then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now. So,
well, then thank you, Maggie. I surely appreciate it, because otherwise I would have had to come up with something. I don't want to do that. I much rather interview people. It's a lot more fun. So, all right. So, if people want to get a hold of Kings and schedule, I'm assuming you come in and do estimates.
Most of the time, we try to do them over the phone. Like I will show up in person and stuff. Especially if you're nice to me over the phone, I'll show up in person. But we're so busy that I just do it by the room over the phone. Makes it nice, quick, painless, and easy. Most of my conversations are about 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Over anything that you could have.
That phone number would be
765-698-5096.
All right. So call that and ask for John or
Jonathan.
I'm sorry. Here I've been calling you John, and you probably don't even like that. You're like, that must as soon as we get out of here, I tell you, I'm going to find him in that alley. My name is Jonathon. Yeah, I get it. All right.
Yeah, one of those people. I also have a website. Do I know how to operate it? No, that's why I employ people. Like, I'm really good at cleaning carpet, tile, upholstery, air ducts, dryer vents, and hardwood floors. Everything else, I pretty much suck at. So I have a bookkeeper, a CPA, I have a website designer, like literally anything that I can outsource that's not me doing physical labor, I outsource it to somebody else in this town. And I use all local people for it too.
High rolling in Kokomo right there. All right. So again, that phone number is?
765-698-5096.
And when should they call you?
Well,
I mean, you're not 24/7 on this, right?
I'm 24/7 on anything you want to pay me for. But we do water restoration, so I guess I should probably talk about that a little bit.
Oh, let's do that, yes. Before we wrap this up, we have more.
I'm a IICRC certified water mitigation expert, mold remediation expert. I can do a little bit of fire damage. I don't like doing fire damage, but I can do that. I have all the stuff for it. Actually, when I started out of my garage when I first moved up here in Kokomo in Bennett Switch. It was like probably the size of this little room we have, 10 foot by 30 foot or so. Then we moved here to Inventrek, and I was here at Inventrek for like 3 years, maybe even 4 as a while.
So you're a legitimate graduate from the incubator then? Yeah, that's cool.
That's fantastic. Well, Dan Jasecki, when he was giving me a tour and stuff, he's like, our goal is to put you in here and then get you out there. And he was pointing at one of the buildings on Home Avenue or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I actually went to the auction, and I was going to try to buy that building, but I wasn't able to. It's where the home plate was.
Oh, yes. Yeah, now it's a Mexican restaurant. Yes.
Yeah. One of the best waitresses in Kokomo works there. Do I remember her name? No. But
well, now I got to go find out who she is. I'm just hey, this guy said that the best waitress in Kokomo happens to be at this restaurant, and they'll all just line up. I'm sure
the best waitress is there, and the best waiters at Windmill Grill, Johnny Mac. Like,
man, everybody's gonna get a little plug today.
It doesn't bother me at all.
I like the Windmill Grill too. I'm all about the local business. Let me tell you, I love eating at local restaurants. I love using local businesses for just about everything. I mean, yeah, I'll go to a Meijer, I'll go to McDonald's from time to time, but only because, at 11 o'clock, most of the local businesses aren't open and serving burgers. But
that is true.
They've got families as opposed to the corporate people.
So if your basement floods, the first person you call is the plumber. Don't call me first. I mean, I can pump out water. That's what I do. But you need to figure out how to get the water stopped first. So call any plumber in this town you want to. I don't have affiliation with any of them.
I do. Second shift.
I think I have seen their advertisements before.
Call second shift.
We clean for Kim, so
there you go. See?
That's a good plug for Kim too.
Yes, absolutely.
So call second shift, then call me, because it's on the homeowner to get the mitigation company there when your house floods. Like, you can call your insurance agent, they'll have a preferred vendor that'll set you up. It'll probably be somebody in a big green truck, maybe a big yellow truck, could even be a big white truck. Ours is a big white truck, so. But if you're got a preferred vendor, they are just going to jack up the insurance bill as much as possible. And like, they're there to help you, but they're there to make money off of the insurance company. That's the biggest thing with restoration companies you got to watch out for. They're just pad the bill like crazy.
And I'll end up feeling that through my premiums, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. But there's give and take too. Like, they do that because mom and pop operations usually aren't legitimate. So they have a preferred vendor list because those people have passed all of their certifications and that kind of stuff.
Right. And you are certified.
Yep. I just don't have enough money to own a franchise right now.
Well, maybe you need to be franchising out.
Yeah, also true too.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
If you can't join them, beat them, right?
Yeah. The biggest downfall to using the shop vac compared to what we do with the truck-mounted water extractions when you have a flood, truck mounts, I'm probably going to be there 2 to 3 hours. You would be looking at like at least a week to do what I can do for sucking out water. We just pumped a basement out that was 5 inches deep. It was 2,500 gallons. It took us 2 hours. Wow. Shop vac, I would have probably taken at least 3 days having a multi-person crew on the shop vac. And you probably went through a bunch of shop vac motors.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even really think about that. Don't want to think about that. I don't want to flood.
Yeah. That's all the rains that just came through and stuff.
Well, I imagine you got a little busy, didn't you?
Yeah, that's the biggest service that I really want to promote and stuff. Tell people about, really. Because the carpet cleaning, it's good. I love meeting the people cleaning carpets and stuff. But like, if your house floods, you want somebody there that cares, and I care.
There
a
you
lot
go.
of people do not care.
That's a great tagline. You know, you want somebody who cares? I care. You know, I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're flooded in your basement right now, or your sump pump is on its last legs, and you think it's going to happen with the next big rain, sounds like King's Cleaning is probably who you need to get a hold of. And again, you can do that by calling
765-698-5096.
How about that? Okay, so now we are going to try to wrap this up. Is there anything else we need to tell everybody before we sign off here?
I just want to say thank you to the community. Like, if it wasn't for the Kokomo community, there's no way I would be here by a long, long way.
Let me second that absolutely for the Kokomo Lantern as well. It is because of your viewership, your support, your comments, and your patronage to our advertisers that we are allowed to do this on a weekly, daily basis, and we love presenting this to you. So again, for Jonathon King of King's Cleaning Solutions, I'm Pat Muncy, publisher of the Kokomo Lantern. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Lamp. Have a great day.
See ya.